my name is Kaylee, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add a 4-channel amp and a subwoofer amp or a 5-channel amp in your 2018 and up Toyota Camry using our Taco Tunes add-in amp harness. We offer this harness in 17 feet or a little shorty to make your own leads. The first thing I'm going to want to do is disconnect the negative terminal on my battery. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and remove my head unit, and I'm going to show you the quick couple of steps you need to get it out. So the first panel I need to remove is right here. I'm going to take my panel removal tool, I'm going to insert it right here, and then I'm going to twist and pull up at the same time. And you're going to have your AC controls. Go ahead and remove that. And then you will also have your airbag harness right here, and make sure to disconnect that. Then you'll also have a harness in between your air vents, and go ahead and remove that one as well. And then I have 4 bolts, 2 on each side. I'm going to go ahead and remove those. And then before I pull up my head unit, I'm going to twist this tab and take it out. Okay, so first step in installing your harness, you're going to remove your 10 and 28 pin. Do not remove any of these other harnesses. We just took the head unit out for video purposes. Go ahead and press the tab down and then your 28 pin. And these are right next to each other. Okay, so included in your amp harness kit, you will technically have 3 harnesses. You'll have your output harness. This connects inside your dash. It has black Molex plugs, and then I put black tape on it so I can determine which one it is once I install it into my vehicle. You will also have your input harness. It plugs in right here, right next to this harness. It has no Molex plugs, and I put blue tape on it so I can determine which one it is. You will also have your remote turn-on harness. You have this end that plugs in right next to your input harness. Then you have your female end that will plug in behind your dash. Make sure you do not disconnect any of these other connections. Okay, so now that I have my 10 and 28 pin removed, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my signal harness for my amps. Female side goes to the stock wiring in my dash, and then this side goes to my head unit. Now my remote turn-on harness, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in as well. Okay, so now that my harnesses are connected to my head unit, I'm going to go ahead and connect my LOC. Starting with our NTUNE6, I'm going to take my input harness. Again, it is the one coming from my head unit that I put blue tape on. And I'm going to take a little tiny screwdriver and go ahead and make these connections. Okay, so I followed the color codes on my NTUNE6 and I connected my input harness. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect my remote turn-on harness to my NTUNE6. Again, it is the harness right next to my input harness. Now you will also need a black ground wire with a ring terminal on it and a blue remote turn-on wire. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect my amp turn-on wire. And last, my black ground wire. Included in my NTUNE6 kit are my NTUNE6 to TXD amp connectors. Okay, so starting with my fronts, I'm going to connect my RCAs to my NTUNE6, and then my blue Molex plug to my amp. And now for my rears, again, I want to make sure that I'm plugging my blue Molex plugs into the input side of my amp, and that side has all of my switches and knobs on them. And last, my sub. Okay, so now I'm going to take my blue amp turn-on wire that I have from my NTUNE6. I'm going to run it to the output side of this amp. I'm going to connect it in the remote spot. And then I'm going to take another piece of blue wire and connect it in the same spot. And last, I'm going to take the other end of my blue wire and connect it to the remote spot on my other amp. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my output harness, which is the harness with the black Molex plugs that I put black tape on, and it is connected inside my dash. I'm going to come over here on my 4-channel amp, and I have my rear and my front. My rears are my purple and green, and my fronts are my white and gray. Okay, so the last thing you'll need to do is power your amps. You'll need to make your power and ground connections. Make sure you check with your amp's manufacturer. They should provide you with the proper information on what size wire and fuses you need to safely power your amps. Okay, so quick recap, if you're using our 5-channel amplifier, I have my RCAs connected to my NTUNE6. And then on my input side, I have my front, rear, and sub now. And then on my output side, I have my black Molex plugs connected along with my amp turn-on wire. Just letting you guys know that you can use RCA connectors to connect the NTUNE6 to just about any other brand or model amplifier. And in the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to connect the LC5i Pro to 2 example amplifiers.